Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Next comes the meiosis. Meiosis, as we have discussed earlier, takes place in germ cells only, or the gametes. It happens only when there is time to fertilization. And the basic feature of meiosis is the number of chromosomes reduced to half. Whereas when we look at the mitosis, number of chromosomes remain the same. Here 1 chromosome, 2 chromosome, 3 chromosome and 4 chromosome were in the start, which have been duplicated themselves, and now at the end there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 chromosomes again. These 4 chromosomes will duplicate themselves in the interphase region and will begin another division. But here we will see that the number of chromosomes will be reduced after the second meiotic division. Here you can see there are 4 number of chromosomes, 1, 2, 3, 4, but at the second stage after meiosis 2 there will be only 2 chromosomes in 4 daughter cells. In mitosis only 2 cells were formed, 2 daughter cells, but meiosis, after passing second meiosis stage, 4 daughter cells will be formed with reduced number of chromosomes. As the meiotic cells, or the cells formed as a result of meiosis, contain half number of chromosomes, so that's why they are called haploid cells. Whereas in mitosis, as the number of chromosomes remain the same, so the daughter cells are called diploid cells. We also denote diploid cells with 2n, and the haploid cells are denoted by capital N only. And the reason of the daughter cells being haploid is there is no division, there is no replication of cell division after meiosis 1. Here meiosis 1 and meiosis 2 are 2 stages of meiosis. In the first stage, the chromatin of the cell replicates itself before prophase 1. During prophase, a certain phenomenon takes place, which is called crossing over. In crossing over, exchange of genetic material takes place. You can say that a part of one chromosome will attach itself to the other chromosomes. Here, as you can see in metaphase very clearly, that chromosome A, part of chromosome A have been exchanged with part of chromosome B. This exchange of genetic material gives rise to variations in new generation. Whereas in mitosis, there was no phenomena of meiosis, of crossing over. That's why all the cells produced as a result of mitosis were genetically identical to their parent cells, whereas the cells produced as a result of meiosis will have variations in them from that of parent cells. All the stages of meiosis are similar to that of mitosis, except the phenomenon of crossing over. In prophase 1, crossing over takes place, nuclear membrane ruptures. As you can see, there becomes hole in nuclear membrane. In metaphase 1, it actually disappears, spindle assembly sets itself, and the chromosome sets at the spindle assembly with its centromeric region. In anaphase 1, the spindle fiber condenses and shortens, and the duplicated chromosomes, tend to move towards their opposite poles. In telophase, the nuclear division completes, chromosomes reach to their opposite poles, and the division of cytoplasm begins, and the division of cytoplasm is called as cytokinesis. As a result, two daughter cells are formed with similar number of chromosomes. Now these two daughter cells will undergo another division which is called meiosis II. Here these two cells were formed as a result of meiosis I, but now here they will not undergo the replication in interphase stage as they did in mitosis. As there is no duplication or replication of genetic materials, so as a result of division in anaphase, the number of chromosomes will be reduced to half. Again, the process repeats itself. In prophase, nuclear membrane ruptures. In metaphase, chromosomes attach themselves to the spindle fibers with centromeric region. In anaphase, the spindle fiber condense and the chromosome move towards opposite poles. So in telophase region, in telophase 2, 4 haploid cells are formed with half number of chromosomes. And the reason of being half number, you have known that there is no duplication of chromosomes or genetic material before the prophase 2. There is another reason for being the haploid cells is zygote that produce as a result of meiosis must contain genetic information from mother and from the father. So the gametes must contain half of the chromosomes found in normal body cells. When two gametes, one coming from the father and the other from the mother, join together at the time of fertilization, normal amount of chromosomes restore. Now we will see the comparison between mitosis and meiosis on page 23. In mitosis, the cell undergoes one division, while in meiosis, there are two divisions, meiosis I and meiosis II. The other difference is one parent cell produces two daughter cells as there is only one division, but in meiosis, 2 to 4 daughter cells are produced as the cell undergoes two meiotic divisions. Daughter cells are diploid, it means they contain similar number of chromosomes as their parent cells contain, but in meiosis, 4 newly produced daughter cells are haploid, means they contain half number of chromosomes than that of their parent cells. Mitosis, the division happen in all cells of the body except germ cells. Germ cells mean gametes, the cells which tend to undergo fertilization. The meiotic division takes place in sex cells or the germ cells only at the time of fertilization. Mitosis takes place every time, whereas meiosis takes place only at the time of reproduction when there are gametes to join to fertilize to produce new offsprings. In mitosis, cells are genetically identical copies of parent cells because no crossing over takes place and the genetic material duplicates itself, whereas in meiosis there is crossing over, so the genetic material could not be identical to that of parent cells. And it is our last difference that in mitosis no crossing over takes place, whereas in meiosis crossing over takes place. Thank you very much.